already told you I was gonna get the Black Phone 2 as well too. So let's talk about Black Phone 2. Actually went to go see Black Phone 2. I didn't know nothing about Black Phone until I seen the previews for Black Phone 1. I mean Black Phone 2. So I went back, watched Black Phone 1. At first, I'm like, I didn't know what the hell was going on. And Black Phone 1, I didn't know what was going on. Okay. I'm like, what is this? Right. So then it started to make sense. I started watching it. I'm like, okay, this dude going around kidnapping people, kids. And, they didn't show he was doing no strange activity. He just got off by kidnapping kids. So the snatcher, who was played by Ethan Hawke. Okay. Usually I like to look up who in the movie before I watch them, but I was watching this at the crib. And if you didn't see the original Black Phone, so basically in Denver, he was going around kidnapping kids, keeping them in his basement, sending them to the upper room, then taking the kids across the street and burying them, right? So apparently, the little girl, his sister, Finn's sister, she could see visions, and she was seeing visions, and she pieced together where he was at, or his proximate area he was at, and she was able to find the bodies to the kids. He was able to talk to his past friend, one of his past friends, and then other kids that died through a Black Phone, which Ethan Hawke, the snatcher, didn't believe worked, and they was able to guide him to salvation and get out of that house, right? And it's funny how he was kidnapping kids. His brother was living at the same house, and his brother just didn't know. He figured out the end, and then he clipped his brother. That's all in one. So in this second one, it's deeper than that. So the snatcher's back in a spiritual form this time. Okay. So he's back in a spiritual form. He's looking to get revenge. He's trying to get them to come to this camp. So is this a religious camp, which was shut down many, many years ago and just restarted? It was shut down because a few kids, went missing. All right. And he ended up being behind that. Back then he was called Wild Bill, and he was like a maintenance man. So as Finn, now 17, struggles with life after his captivity, his sister being kidnapped, he's been like smoking weed and shit too. His sister begins receiving calls in a dream from the Black Phone and seeing disturbing visions of 3 boys being stalked at a winter camp known as Alpine Lake. So yes, he only kidnaps boys. So he also hears the phone call rings, but he's so strung out on weed, like he gets high on weed to escape it, right? So he's dealing with that. He's turned into the bully, beating people up that his friend was, because he's trying to deal with, what's going on in there. So it started Mason Thomas, Ethan Hawke, and Madeline McGraw. So that's Finn. Ethan Hawke is the snatcher, and Madeline McGraw is the daughter. So for the most part, what you end up seeing in this situation is, he lures them back to that camp. And it also becomes a twist in it, is that his mother also was a camp counselor at the camp. So, or she was a camper at the camp when all this happened. But it just so happens that his mother, they thought that's where the ties end at. But his mother was tied in a little bit deeper. I don't want to give it away. If you haven't seen it, I say spoilers at the end, since it's been out a couple of weeks now. But ultimately, they go back to the camp. It's a snowstorm. The camp was canceled. They didn't know. Remember, this is like the 80s, I believe. The camp is canceled. They didn't know the camp was canceled. So, when the camp get canceled, basically he lured them to there, and now he's basically want to get his revenge. So he started really, getting down on the sister, putting hands, foot, and toes on the sister. But every time they able to find a body or one of the missing boys, he gets less powerful. So he started really ramping it up after a while, and he started using the sister. He started losing the sister to put to hurt Finn, because Finn the one that sent him to the upper room. And long story short, you pretty much they had to find the bodies, and one of the guys, the Native American guys, he ended up promising the kids' parents that were missing. He promised them that he would bring them home. He promised that he would bring them home, and he wanted to keep his promise. And they start believing in the girls' visions, and they all, start looking for the boys, and the vision start taking them. But as they start getting closer to finding one, finding two, finding three, the snatcher started stepping it up. He started putting the Beats by Dre on them. He started really fucking a girl up, and it kind of had like a twist from Nightmare on Elm Street, where he kind of only can hurt you in your dreams. Remember how Freddy used to be putting hands, foots, and claws on hoes, and dudes, and like he just beating them up in their sleep, but it's like they getting beat up by somebody invisible. This kind of had a Nightmare on Elm Street twist to it as well too, and he was really beating on his sister like she stole something, like she was one of them girls stealing it from Walmart because she had EBT. Um, but yeah, that's what it boiled down to, and eventually, they had to get Silas, the father from the first movie, who didn't give a two damns in a what about his son and what he was going through because he had lost his wife. He didn't give a two damns in a what. He got sober in life, and he ended up showing up. I mean, to start the spoilers right now. He ended up showing up to come get them. And he able to, get a snowplow to come get his kids, which he didn't really care. It seemed like he didn't care about his kids because he became an alcoholic when his wife sent herself to the upper room. Now, another spoiler, the wife didn't send her to the upper room. She didn't send her self to the upper room. In this version, even though her and Wild Bill was at the same camp, she had a vision when Wild Bill started kidnapping kids, that because that's where her daughter got her psychic powers from. She had a vision that the kid was at a particular house. He found the house, and then Wild Bill caught her. When he caught her finding the kid through the basement window, kidnapped her, drugged her like he did the rest of the kids, took her back to her house, hung her, and make it seem like she did suicide. So through the visions, he showed the daughter that, yeah, I killed your mother, and all that type of stuff. So yeah, those are spoilers for the most part. And obviously, they found the children. We all know that they found the children, and defeated Ethan Hawke in the Black Phone too. So this is more, it was kind of spiritual in the first one. I don't want to say spiritual, but like kind of ghosty in the first one, and this one was even more about spirits and ghosts here and them defeating him. So I know a lot of people, probably preferred the original. I thought the original was better, but this was a good sequel. I liked it. It was some good twist. It wasn't too much. I mean, and I don't believe it was too long at all either. Let's see if we could see what's the time on this. 154, so 2 hours. So, less than 120 minutes. So yeah, it was a pretty good length. I would say I'll probably give it a straight 7 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10, 7. I'll say 7 out of 10. Because I know I watch it again, I'm gonna like it. So thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hit the link tree. You can find me on Patreon, X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, the whole 9. Check out the movie review playlist for more videos like this. Peace.